Tortillas flying all around the place. Ladies and gentlemen, from 1-11 to 4-8 to now, with the season not even being over, 7-2, bowl eligible, in prime spot to win the Big 12, the Colorado Buffaloes are in a peculiar situation. Peculiar? I don't even know how to spell that, but Deion Sanders has these boys humming, has these boys going, has a lot of Colorado haters very upset, even the tortilla tossers themselves, who got manhandled in a lot of regards. So today, we are going to recap this game. We're going to talk about the implications for the Big 12, for Colorado, and get down to the bottom of this tortilla business. So if you enjoy these college football videos, please leave a like on this video. If you don't, dislike the video. Please subscribe if you enjoy college football content, my recaps and things of that situation. Let's hop right into it. Before we do anything, I like to recap the games before we get into the situations and stuff. But again, a 7-2 Colorado beats a Texas Tech team that had recently beat an Iowa State team that was atop of not only the Big 12 standings alongside BYU, but also pretty high when it comes to the college football playoff standings and college football regular AP poll. They get taken out by the scrappy Texas Tech team, a team that started 5-1, being written off early in the season. But this game was anything but a written off, and man, oh man, did Colorado prove that they could get through some adversity. So I want to walk you through a few things. First things first is the first quarter, in which Texas Tech was humming. They were going. Tortillas were flying everywhere. Can somebody in my comments explain the tortilla thing? I think it's hilarious. I'm from Texas, by the way, but I'm from Houston. I have never gone to Lubbock. I've never gone to Texas Tech. I respect the Red Raiders. They're one of our favorite little brothers around the Texas realm. So they do phenomenal things, but somebody please tell me what the tortilla is about. I think it's phenomenal. They were flying in the first quarter. There was bad special teams from Colorado, which was great special teams from Texas Tech. And golly, Patrick Mahomes, these uniforms is fresh. They're a little extra, but they're fresh. They're super fresh. Yeah, everybody give them a clap, because Texas Tech was the best dressed out there at that time. But other than that, they were just coming out and really putting their will. They were putting really good drives together. The quarterback felt like they were in sync. The defense was not there. And more importantly, I felt like Shedeur Sanders just wasn't there. You could kind of see it in some of the body language and some of the things, and him talking to Travis and him talking to coaches. It was like, I don't know. He's not really a big, super boisterous guy typically, when he's playing, but he just felt super flat. And I think it's if you've ever played a sport in general, you know that you don't want to get too high, but you definitely don't want to just be flat. You definitely don't want to have no energy and nothing popping and nothing going when you're playing an explosive sport and trying to lead these guys. And my next thing I'm going to say is, after that dominant first quarter from Texas Tech, and they were really embarrassing, tortillas, all that other stuff, I was noticing something, and it happened throughout the whole game. But the whole time that they were struggling, they were down 13. They were talking to each other. Travis Hunter, they would score a touchdown. Travis Hunter would pull Shedeur over. They would talk. They would say, "Hey, boom, 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 XYZ, elemental P, QRX, TU, and V," and they were talking to each other. The defense, number 41, number 53, number 20, those beasts on the defense line who had a phenomenal day. They would, something happen. All right, they're talking to each other. Hey man, no, they had that fourth down sweep, 4th and 1 or 4th and goal sweep that went in, and they're like, hey, right after the play, hey, look at me, XYZ, you need to go outside. It reminds me of that Reuben Foster video. I probably should play it. Can I find it? I hope I can find it. But you know what I'm talking about, where, like, no, not Reuben Foster. That is the Georgia linebackers, where they're in the national championship and they mess up, and then Nakobe Dean, and then he picks it back up. He's like, you got to hit it. And then he goes and he like wins the game the next play. That was this next level thing. And I only say that to say, a lot has been said about this Colorado team, but it's a team, right? Matt B. Diddy, Matt B. Great, whatever he's going, Matt B. Vandy, whatever he calls himself these days, he's having, I think, a very hard time, because he called this an AAU team. I'm sure he would take it back in a heartbeat. But the way that they went through adversity, the way that it was never, I'm giving up. It was like, dang, I'm hard on myself. I'm hard on my teammate. Let's talk about it. After that touchdown to LaJohntay Wester, that first one for Colorado, Shedeur is going back to the sideline talking to Travis Hunter, and then he talks to somebody, and then they're like game planning, like, and I know, look, that's normal after you go a drive, but it was no like, it was like, all right, let's look at it, let me see, like, it was immediate, and I love to see that, and that's important to see, because that's what a culture is. That's what a full team is. Someone who constantly wants to do it. I get it. It happens to a lot of teams. It happens on a lot of championship teams. It happens on a lot of well-coached teams, a lot of well-player-led teams. So that was phenomenal to see from Colorado. The sidelines were insanity. Okay, I know I talked about the tortillas, but the crowd was getting rowdy in different ways. They had to stop it a few times. I'm going to show you a video of Shiloh Sanders. Actually, why am I even, what are we doing? Why don't I show you the video? I mean, obviously, here's the regular tortillas. I mean, that's a high octane amount of tortillas right there. Is that not an absurd amount of tortillas? They look like CDs for some reason. Every time I saw them, they I guess they cut holes in them. Is that to fling them back? Someone has to explain this to me. Maybe I don't know. That's a lot going on. But let me show you. They threw this bottle at him, right? And then Shiloh Sanders throws it back up to them, and it was a big hullabaloo, and they're going crazy. And they stopped for it was like 10 minutes, and then there was another stop. And going into the next thing was the terrible refs, the awful, terrible refs. What's it called? And you know me, I like Colorado. I also like Texas Tech. So, I mean, it was a win-win. Hey, man, I get views anytime Colorado plays. I get more views when Colorado loses, if I'm being honest with you. So, I should be hoping for Colorado to lose. But win, lose, or draw, I don't like these types of calls. Because at first, I was like, is that I thought they were calling a late hit. And I was like, that's terrible. And then you find out, whoa. Sorry, I had something pop off. And then you find out they're calling this a low hit. And now he is right up in his Bojangles, but the rule is under the knee pad, and he's above the thigh pad. So I don't like that. I don't think that's kosher. I don't think that's good. So that some of these bad calls on both sides, there was terrible calls. They were just letting pass interference fly on both sides. Granted, again, they did allow it on both sides, but no pass interference was called, and then randomly they called it on Colorado. And then they had this sequence with a running back, it was it was a late hit, and then they didn't call it, and then it wasn't late hit, but they flung him out of bounds, and then the crowd was going insane. Tortillas and non-tortillas, and that was the problem. It was non-tortilla objects were flying all around the place. It's a no-fly zone unless it is tortillas. So, that's phenomenal. That's hilarious. A lot of rowdiness going on right there. A lot of terrible penalties. Pretty embarrassing to watch that if you like football. What else? I'm going to say this right now. Colorado's got the best wide receiver room in the nation. You can spit in my face. You can call me a whatever. Say what you want about me and my people and my family. Please don't. But yeah, this is the best wide receiver room every single time. I'm not sure if you noticed because they scored 41 points, even though that last one was a touchdown from Shiloh. And hey, whoa, it's not in my notes. I have handy dandy notes that I'm reading off of. I need one more thing. Let's hop into the box score. This defense on Colorado, they were the shining star. That first quarter, the offense was very, very lethargic from Colorado. They just weren't what they needed to do, and they weren't where they needed to be. N'Keal Hill-Green, one of the leading tacklers in this, as you see, one of the leading tacklers here, and of course Bentley's a problem here. The two edge guys were making problems. They were making turnover. They were causing turnovers. They were causing lots of pressures. This was a different type of defense that was really complete in a lot of different ways. It was putting this quarterback in a lot of pressing situations. So shout out to them. They are the reason why Colorado won this game. Again, that last touchdown came from them. There was times where Colorado wasn't even capitalizing on some of the turnovers, which needs to be fixed. They're an explosive offense, but if I'm going to be honest with you and I'm going to criticize Colorado, the fact that they struggle in the red zone and they struggle to capitalize specifically off quick change events and turnovers, and anytime the defense gives them something, it feels like they don't take full advantage of it at all times. They can't always even turn it into points, and I think it's going to be very bad if they sneak into the playoffs and they do that. Now, that's going to be the next video. We're going to talk about it because last week I told y'all about the playoffs. It's looking a little better, man. They're sitting in the Big 12 championships. Let's look at a few tweets and let's get up out of here. We looked at this. I showed you the Shiloh Sanders situation. This is now that we're here because I want to talk about this. Yo, this game from the rip was already nasty. It was already nasty. If you see pregame, he was warming up, but pregame, homie is messing with refs. He's messing with refs or whatnot. So he set himself up there. I mean, you know how that go. And look at the tortillas just flying. Just a flying. That's awesome. That's great. But that's not what I'm here for. That's not what I'm here for. By the way, great preseason. If you don't know Mr. McGuire or Joey McGuire, Coach McGuire, he coached Bucky. He coached Deion Sanders' son. So that was a cool little moment there. Shout out to him, what he does. I mean, hey, man, them Texas Tech fans was getting awfully rowdy, man. Hey, man, this is how the Texas Tech fans felt. Now, this was nasty though. I remember the Colorado fan. He was kicking over. He was kicking over the pylons for like 30 seconds. That's just childish. But there's some more stuff that Texas Tech did too. So obviously that was kind of how the snapshot of what everything looked like. Deion's, I mean, come on, yo. They was getting real nasty, dog. They was getting real nasty. So I think they Texas Tech, and I'm not sure if y'all remember the whole Colorado hates America thing. Y'all remember that BS? Yeah, man. Texas Tech kind of deserves this loss for all that. They tried to. Right, y'all remember this? Libs of TikTok was let me get out of here, dog. Y'all even like this video if you like it. Dislike this video if you don't like it, man. Y'all let me know how y'all felt about Colorado. If you like the video, again, like it. If you don't like it, dislike it. Subscribe if you enjoy college football content, and we'll see you next time. I'm about to start yapping. So if you don't want to be here, leave. The video's over. Bye. I'm going to start yapping, though. All right. So y'all did all this nasty stuff. Y'all had libs of TikTok going crazy. Y'all tried to say Colorado hates America. They don't want to have nothing with the American flags on it. Yeah, all the Saddam. And my problem is not that I'm a Colorado defender. That's not what I'm doing. Why make up fake reasons to hate Colorado? Last year, there were plenty of real reasons to hate Colorado. There are still, I guess, real reasons to criticize and hate Colorado. Them hating America when just last year they had American decals on their helmets and a bunch of helmets, and they trained with Army SEALs in the summertime. Who are y'all talking about? And this is the problem with Twitter or X or whatever it's called. Elon Musk done turned it into Facebook, especially for you college football month. Especially y'all living out there in Lubbock, Texas. I'm sure I don't think there's a lot to do in Lubbock, Texas. Again, please tell me about the tortillas and all the phenomenal play. Any place that you're chunking tortillas, I don't think great things are happening. Okay. Sorry, I forgot. I was supposed to talk about the standings and what this would mean for them. I'm sorry. That was so nasty, dog. Like, why can't we just talk about Colorado? Shedeur Sanders terrible holding the ball too long. Taking sacks that he didn't need to, even though the offensive line was great for Colorado this game. He was still taking sacks he didn't need to because he was holding it and doing all a bunch of craziness. It didn't make no sense. It's absurd. All right, let's look at these standings, man. Finish my yap, man. Finish my yap. So after today, let's update this. We got to update this. After what just transpired, Colorado is 5-1. 5-1 in conference. Iowa State is back out of there at 4-2. Kansas State. Wait, did Kansas State just lose today? Hold on. Did they lose today? They're also 7-2. Okay. Oh, no, it's just the same loss. Okay, and remember, they lost. But, again, Colorado's got a bet, so they are firmly at number 2. What does BYU need to do? And we'll go deeper into this on our actual, wrap-up of the week and talk about how Colorado can make the playoffs. But they got to play Utah, BYU, Kansas, and Kansas just shocked. Arizona State is a good team, too. I don't know, dog. This could look a little spicy for Colorado. They got to beat Utah, which is going to be a big news Saturday. Kansas, who just whooped Iowa State. So I don't know what kind of I don't know what team's going to show up there. And then Oklahoma State, another team where I don't know who's going to show up. I don't know if the real Ollie Gordon's going to please stand up. I don't know what's happening there. But a lot of craziness, a lot of nasty implications. Who would have thought? By the way, Colorado was projected to be 11th out of 16 in the Big 12. They sit properly at number 2 with 6 conference games. So it's just – I want y'all to really know, it's just nasty, dog. I really, really like college football. I love football in general. There is so many ways to call out Deion Sanders, Colorado for football stuff. It just seems like every single week there is just a bunch of BS. This was someone who I grew up as a kid idolizing, one of the greatest athletes of all time, someone who transcended and became a great speaker and a leader of men. And all I hear about is how much they hate America because some money-hungry dude trying to capitalize off Deion Sanders' name didn't want to have their special license thing, even though they have their whatever with American flag colors on. whatever, dog. Whatever, dog. But hey, I hope y'all phenomenal. Again, this is my yap session. So if you don't like yapping and you stayed to this point, that's your point. That's your fault, dog. It's your fault, dog. Y'all be phenomenal. Y'all be great. Leave a like if you like this. Dislike if you don't.